Zulu income.
Zulu income?
Yeah, hit I. Indigo.
You're saying that's what you want up the majority of the time?
I think it is the most valuable, yes. Being a macro game.
Oh, fair enough. I haven't had anything up there.
What
in
is
the last
this
couple
next
games.
to his base? His,
Oh, it's a trophy.
clan.
That's
I have
not a
not
clan.
seen that before.
He has a trophy. He won a tournament.
Is that what that is? I have
No.
not seen that before. Huh. Okay.
Now, it's
Well,
probably just, a low-key tournament. They run these little mini tournaments on Battle.net now.
Yeah, yeah.
So he didn't, win GSL.
hmm No, I get that, but I just have not seen that before.
But in any event, proper intro here. Welcome to the RU Gaming Replay Review. Today we have featured one of my ladder games from last night, a TVT macro game,
Game resumed.
featuring my opponent, Faggots Evillo's Laugh, who is a Tier 3 Diamond level Terran. He selected random in this game, so maybe he's Diamond Random, but Tier 2 Platinum in straight Terran. That might explain the discrepancy between what I saw on the score screen and his profile. So he grabs a fast gas here. Meanwhile, at home, I'm still trying to decide, do I want to expand really fast, like I've been doing all night, or do I want to hedge my bets? So I haven't made that decision yet. Ultimately, I decide that I'm going to grab at least one Rax and expand. And I do so because I see his Rax, and I see his gas, which tells me he's going to go for Reaper right away. I don't know how many Reapers, but he's getting a Reaper. And I don't want to try to defend this rather wide ridge line on my base with merely Marines. Yeah, once again, an incomplete refinery. So there's a second Rax, although I have a bit of a head start on my second Rax as compared to him. But his is up first. So what I'm trying to do here is out-Reaper the Reaper, much as I did in the... Oh hey, yeah, he tries to deny expansion with an engineering bay over here, which I don't even notice yet. I'm just chasing around the worker, trying to kill the worker, and boom, I kill the worker. I start making Marines out of habit, cancel those, replace with Reapers as soon as I get the gas, and drop a third Rax, because I'm freaking terrified. I don't handle Reapers well. Meanwhile, down here, he's starting his factory, his economy continues apace, his geyser still isn't full. The fuck, man? He's got a Reaper, but fortunately for me, he's not using it yet. He's waiting for another couple of Reapers. I've got my scout in here checking in. I was hiding over in the corner in his natural, making sure he's not expanding, getting another poke at his tech. I see he's got the Reaper as I expected, and I see he's grabbing the factory. So I know he's teching up. He's not going to be doing a mass Reaper.
And you see the engineering bay.
Yes, I finally see the engineering bay, and I start dealing with it.
Ooh. And you use your Reaper to attack it.
It's what
Is
I
that a
had.
good idea? Yeah.
A Reaper opening is very common. What's pretty important is I'm only showing him one Reaper. Now, I go ahead and decide to start my expansion regardless, because I don't want to be sitting around waiting to kill that building just for a couple of placements when I have a flying fucking building. Fuck that. Build the damn thing. Save the time. So knowing he's teching up, I opt to grab my factory and tech up myself. I'm trying to keep my barracks busy. Ever more Reapers, because I'm freaking terrified of his Reapers. And there go the add-ons. I'm getting ready to have enhanced production capability because I'm about to have enhanced income. And the Reapers go out. I lost my worker scout, so I need to get another look. Luckily for me, he starts to move out by himself here, although he comes back for some unknown reason. He couldn't have seen me. So I deny ever so briefly... No? Okay, I do not deny his expansion. I thought I did. And I'm just trying to out-micro his Reapers. It's not going to happen. And he'll eventually clean me up here. But what's important here is I see the starport, I see the expansion. I see he doesn't have any additional infrastructure or tech. So I know I have an economic advantage now. And I also know the full extent of his military isn't all that impressive. So I start on my own starport, and indeed I grab a second starport. Now I'm going for kind of a bets hedging situation here. I'm using my barracks for my mineral dump. I'm getting a couple of tanks because tanks are good. And I'm going to go for Banshee. I'm going to go for 2-port Banshee, substantially delayed, because I want to be able to harass his expansion without getting bogged down by trying to drop or anything like that. I have an engineering bay. I've started putting up turrets because I saw his starport. We engage in a little conversation here. He wants to know if I watch Avillo. I tell him I don't.
What's Avillo?
Avillo is
It's a streamer.
Avillo is a Terran streamer who's apparently widely poorly regarded, though I did not know that before now. I just, as I say here, I find his attitude less than admirable. He tends to be pretty defeatist. Whenever he comes up against something that's a difficult thing to handle, he just describes it as an auto win, because...
So basically,
well, I
he's
can't do
Idra
anything
2.0?
If he loses, he just complains about how the game is unbalanced.
So he's Idra 2.0.
Then he
didn't
gets
really
up from his
complain about
computer
balance.
and throws things, and then...
Does he really do
Yeah.
that? I've only ever watched his stream for like an hour, and...
I've seen clips of him getting it from the computer and, like, running around, like, flipping out.
Wow, I had no
screaming
idea.
stuff.
I had no idea. What I watched,
Yeah,
he was
there's a
just
reason why
complaining
he's
about
got it.
auto wins because he didn't scout what his opponent was doing. And
Other
here's
streamers
a
like
nasty,
control them.
nasty scan from my opponent, catching my 2 starports working. And he wastes no time reacting to that. Hell, he's already got a Viking on the field. But fortunately for me, he's still playing this fairly defensively. He's got a barracks on the low ground, so he's inching toward getting his third, but he hasn't taken it yet.
Why
The
did he put a
Zerg would
barracks
have
on the
5
low
bases
ground?
by now.
The whole racks on the low ground thing doesn't make much sense to me.
It doesn't make a lot to me either, but it makes sense to kind of inch your way out there to some degree. So my Banshees arrive, and they get immediately turned around by all these Vikings and scans. I try to pick off some Reapers, because those are pretty expensive. Make sure I stay outside the scan radius. So I'm baiting out 2 scans now. Doing what little damage I can with these Banshees. Bait out a 3rd scan. So that alone maybe even makes those Banshees worth it, because that's probably some 600, 700 minerals worth of minerals he doesn't get to have.
Would
Because
you
of 3
been
scans.
able to get the Banshee speed upgrade?
No, I didn't
That might
have.
have kept them alive.
I didn't have the gas for it.
Uh,
But he's now starting to swing pretty hard into Vikings. And he's also started his Raven to protect himself from further Raven follow-ups, or excuse me, further Banshee follow-ups, which I only made 2 more. I'm not going all in on the Banshees. may or may not be making a decision here, seeing that I'm not using my starports anymore.
He does see your bio army, though.
He also sees my defensive tank positioning, so drops are kind of out of the question as far as he's concerned. You can see my Banshees skirting around the edge of this sensor tower, trying to go undetected. Unfortunately, I run straight into a Raven. He's such a hacker, yeah. So I check over here. Okay, he's starting his third. I shut down the construction.
Nice kill.
So I get 3 SCV kills, and he doesn't get the cancel on that missile turret, so that's another 100. And his forces come in and trap my Banshees in this corner. I try to cloak and swing around, but he sees it, and these Banshees don't make it home.
Oh, you flew into the Raven.
One makes it home.
One made it away.
So he's pretty well defended over here at his natural with 3 missile turrets. Banshees aren't going to be giving him any more trouble. Starts another Raven. He's even got a 3rd starport going here.
Now, do sensor towers show cloaked units?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I was just wondering about that. And
Yeah.
the other question is the Zelnaga towers. Do they also do that?
I doubt the Zelnaga tower.
Zelnaga towers do not, absolutely not. Now, I'm noticing he's actually got 4 command centers here, one of which he's just using for macro, apparently. Now, he's
So he's
splitting
letting the
his
energy
forces.
build up.
He's splitting his forces with his air fleet over on the right hand to make sure I don't harass him as he tries to push in on my left. Got some Banshee work going on up here, but he cleans that up pretty quick. And fortunately for me, his entire army isn't here, so I have a wonderful advantage here. And I just need to skim and walk into him.
Nice.
You put a tower down?
He put a missile turret down. I think he had a worker up here and he wanted to pick off the Banshee as it retreated.
Yeah. Good thought, and especially hiding it behind the bushes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my opponent retreats to center, continues to try to establish himself on the 3rd, getting a planetary fortress, continues to build production facilities on the low ground. There may be merit to this. I personally don't do this. Now, I'm trying to pick up my 4th expansion on gold up here, but he's checking that right now, just as I'm building. So he's going to force a cancel here.
Or is he? Oh.
And then he's going to try to poke in, but I've seen that he's been going pretty heavy into the air, so I'm prepared for little pokes in. Unfortunately, what he sees is my fusion core.
Ah.
He sees it going down, but does he click on it to see that it is?
You can tell the fusion.
Yeah, the fusion core is pretty distinctive shape at that level of construction. So I try to expand again. I move my army over to cover it. I don't really understand this. I like how you talk. I hadn't been saying anything. I just said, no, I don't watch a Vilo stream. I don't like his attitude. He's defeatist. And
He
this.
probably asked everyone that question, and probably 90% of people ignore him completely.
Oh, that's
Maybe
possible.
maybe this is actually him on a separate account.
In any case, I reply that I like how he doesn't shit on my noobishness. Which, oops. Now, I kind of like what happens here. I scan ahead, make sure I'm not running into any tanks, and then I notice his scan, and I just skirt around it. So he never gets an eye on what I've actually got here. And he comes in with his air fleet. Now this is pretty nasty, but I do manage to micro out the medevacs, but I didn't
Oh, you
notice
did
them.
get him away. Nice.
One of them even survived.
And then he takes an engagement here, which is definitely not in his favor. I manage to shut down this base as he tries to repel my army. And he's trying to poke in with just air units that can't shoot around. This was a terrible mistake on his part. Fortunately, he gets out before I do any serious damage. And he retreats to a more defensive location.
Ooh, you finally got that gold base down.
This
You can
is
see
good.
his tanks here, but that's not going to be enough to turn him away. So I knock out his tanks, and I basically sack this army and do a trade with his. I save my medevacs though. And this is going to be a spur for him to attack me now, because I've just lost, in his perspective, my entire army. Fortunately, I've been macroing. Yes, this is what I
Yay!
call macro. I have a tiny smattering of infantry up here. More importantly, 2 battlecruisers just popped out.
Ooh. Have you been upgrading? Let's see. Oh yeah, bio upgrades.
Yes, I have 2-1 upgrades.
He's
This compares
got-
to my opponent with 1-1. My opponent also has +1 air upgrades.
Ah, okay.
So he scans ahead, sees what I've got here, and I guess he just decides to go home. Maybe
Wow.
he's just waiting for tanks.
25 SCVs on that base.
He's splitting his forces. He's going to go after my my 4th base while simultaneously threatening up here to keep my main forces stuck here. And he's going to get away with that. He's going to knock down my 4th. Despite my attempts to repair it with the mules. Fortunately, 3 out of 5 of those mules were at the end of their life cycle anyway. But knowing that he's got his forces split, I take my whole forces and I press him down. I do some nice micro here, knocking out some Vikings.
You ever get that last Viking there? The one with 5 HP? No, it escaped.
I
No,
walk
don't
into some
hurt the
tanks here, that
tank.
kind of hurts. I do withdraw a little bit. Take refuge under my own tank, my 1 tank, and I send my battlecruisers in. Unfortunately, he's got more than enough Vikings to deal with me. And I totally forget about Yamato cannon, so I don't even really gain anything from this. He picks up 2 free
Ouch.
battlecruisers.
Ouch!
Fortunately, 2 more arrive to reinforce just in time.
Oh no, and then you run back into the siege tanks.
Yeah, it was not a great thing. He's trying to protect his 4th here, which he's only just barely established. And then the tactical jump, bitch.
Nice.
So this drags his air fleet down here to defend his natural. And my main group comes in here, cleans up his tanks, knocks down his 4th.
And you stay out of range of this tower. Sure.
That's just pure luck. Pure luck.
But
I
that's-
wasn't paying
that-
any attention to these
that's
battle
right.
cruisers. This was just a, hey, pay attention over here.
Hey, you got his Raven at least.
Well, apparently I don't manage to knock down his 4th. So I just do some economic damage over there while I distract some of his forces over here.
Yeah, but his income just plummeted.
He
Yeah,
has
that'll
half
happen.
the workers. Half.
Yeah.
And once again, fortunately, I've been macroing. I have another 2 battlecruisers, small smattering of infantry, saved my medevacs.
I still don't know why you canceled that for
Yeah.
Marauder.
I was afraid he was closer with more stuff, and I didn't want him to stutter up to it and smack it down in one volley.
Fair enough.
So I'm reattaining my 4th at the gold as he starts to move up the center. Where is that scan?
Game paused.
Oh, right
There
there.
we
Yeah.
Game resumed.
Now, I blindly happen to move over and protect my 4th. Just kind of happens that way. This is where game sense comes in. This is where he was probably going to hit me. He knows I've been stationing my army primarily up at my 3rd. And I push back his aggression here. Oh, so it is, Seth. I did not notice that either. And then tactical jump, bitch.
Where to this time? Ah.
So his army's way out of position, threatening my 4th. Well, okay, I'll threaten yours.
And again, he had terrible turret placement.
Now, I'm not
Yeah.
getting a lot done here. I do actually manage to remember to do tomato cannon on these things. So I pick off 2 Vikings for my trouble. But ultimately, all I really did is force him out of position, which allows me to do this over on the right.
Ah.
Yeah, this was pretty great.
Nice.
This is not a game-ending attack. He's got more than enough to kill me, but it's going to take him some time. And by then, I'm knocking out Starport, possibly 2 Starports here.
Kill gases, you kill a tech
I'm going to
lab.
kill his natural again.
Yeah, you're gonna take out that other refinery.
Break off a small group to clear out the natural. While he's stunted over here, micro the medevacs to force the Vikings into the marine fire.
Why didn't he just charge in with his forces?
Because tanks, mostly. And he knows he has an economic disadvantage. He needs to be efficient. And it would not be an efficient thing to do.
Lead in with the Vikings to draw the marine fire. Drop on top of the tanks.
Here we go with the desperation attack. I largely just sack this entire group.
Ooh, what happened?
And you'll notice what's happening over here.
Oh, did you jump more in? And he's not even repairing.
What's disappointing is the automatic targeting systems of battlecruisers. I didn't
Yeah.
tell them to attack that. I would have preferred they attack the workers. I even microed them right here, away from the planetary, trying to get them to shoot at the workers. And then the Vikings arrive. Jump is down, NATO is down. Not a whole lot these battlecruisers can do with their sacrifice. So I've now taken my 5th base and saturated it with a ton of mules. And I start
Yeah.
laying down turrets to protect it from air harassment.
Your income was like over 4,000 minerals. Nice.
I mean, there's no disputing. I do not have air superiority, but I've been keeping him so well on the back foot that it doesn't matter. Once again, he's splitting his forces, and he's going to be engaging my whole force with just a portion of his, while his air units are out of position trying to defend. I'm just trying to catch up to these units with my my Marines, not really caring if I run into tanks or not. Now this is not a very good engagement position. I withdraw away from tanks, siege up over here.
Eek. Yeah.
So once I'm sieged, he falls back. And I just need to kind of hold my position here until I get reinforcements. He has not reestablished his natural. Not that there's a whole heck of a lot for him to reestablish over here. He hasn't replaced his lost starport either. Not that I think he could afford the production either.
I don't think there's enough minerals there to make another orbital command worth it. I think it's... Yeah.
I mean, he's got one sitting right there. He could just fly over.
True.
And then I just slam down his forces with this wonderful pursuit in the middle. He's retreating tanks, and I'm just chasing him down, knocking down his air units with stutters, killing an expansion, smacking down the tank I see. And now I'm trying to pick up my base number 6. Two more battle cruisers popping out, and another 2 in the pipe. Because those battle
Nice.
cruisers have been doing some fucking work. I'm gonna keep building them.
Nice forward sensor towers, by the way.
Yeah. I move in, crush his ground forces. This is a rather unfortunate seeker missile hit, but it doesn't matter. And he has no air to ground, so I can just siege up here and knock down his 4th base again. Battle cruisers making their way down, tactical jump onto the 3rd.
Which is now his only range working base.
So So this is forcing an engagement. If he doesn't engage, he doesn't have income. He needs to engage. And look where I'm waiting for him.
Nice tech lab Yamato, by the way.
Yeah.
He pauses the game and leaves.
So it was that guy.
What do you mean it was that guy?
Whatever, the streamer you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, I did
Actually,
research
yeah,
the
Avila
issue.
does that, I think.
Yeah.
He pauses and then quits. I've seen that in games.
So yeah, a very long-winded, great macro game, which I miraculously turn around because I am of calm mind.
Yeah, you should play relaxed more often, I think.
Yes.
I mean, we switch over to Units Lost tab. I've actually lost more than him, marginally, but I've been able to keep my income up.
Yeah, I mean, you can replace like crazy, so...
Yep. I took a very Zerg-like approach to my infantry and basically everything. Normally, battlecruisers are really expensive. I don't want to send those off on a suicide mission. Fuck it.
But you definitely can when you've got like a 40 worker advantage or 50 worker advantage.
Yeah, no, my income was crazy, and I realized that, and I started making more battlecruisers. I realized that even more and plopped down 3 more starports to start making battlecruisers 5 at a time. But that never actually came to fruition because he left first.
I'm just really sad you didn't start mining your 6th base.
Aww.
While
Well,
you're
no, he
oversaturated.
did. There was one SCV mining there.
I got all of 30 minerals from that base.
Excellent.
Could have taken that gold too. In the middle.
I didn't want to overextend. My army was not particularly mobile. I had mobile aspects, i.e. tactical jumping battlecruisers, but that's it.
Yeah, but if you lose it, like, what's the real loss?
That's kind of the approach I took to my first gold base, my 4th.
Yeah, I mean, it's gold minerals, so it'll pay for itself very quickly. As long as you don't lose a bunch of workers. But even then, like, you still got the income.
I figured at least with
replace
the 6th and my sensor towers being positioned the way they were, I would have a very good chance of intercepting his aggression.
Yeah. And you should be, like, building more units, dude. Look at your supply cap. You're nowhere close.
Yeah. There's definitely improvements that can be made. As I emphasize all the time, I am not good at this game.
Yeah, you just beat diamond players.
I beat diamond players on a good day. Come on, people cheese their way up to Grandmaster. That doesn't mean they're good.
Yeah, I think I gotta start cheesing more Zerg, to be honest. On 1v1s.
But that will conclude this particular replay. And I should probably eat sometime today.
Sometime today.
Sometime today.
All hail President Trump.
All hail the last day we all have on Earth.
There have been other apocalypses. We have survived them. We will
Yeah.
survive this one too, probably.
Probably. Maybe.
Maybe. But in any case, join us whenever the next time is, sometime in the future, for the next
Tonight.
Are You Gaming replay review.
Tonight.
Tonight, he says. Wishful thinking, Mr. Zach. Mirab with sails unfurled.
Don't drink and drive.